It's good to be back in Merit... Oh, here we go. Good help is surprisingly easy to find. It's good to be back in Merit City. Honestly, you didn't expect to miss this hero-infested place so much. The good news is that driving hundreds of miles across a horrendous wasteland, that is the American Midwest, gave you some time to think about your ultimate goal as a supervillain. Well, that and what your next costume redesign will look like. Should you add a cool hood to give yourself a mysterious look, maybe even include an awesome cape. How about a turned-up collar to give everyone that dark and evil vibe? Looks aside, you should definitely implement one of the more practical ideas you had in mind. A wireless radio device to better organize troops during a scheme, a high-tech eye device offers some detail on heroes and villains, a utility belt expansion to make room for new fear gas bombs. High-tech eye device. Yeah.
That's the that last one's the Scarecrow.
Oh, it sure is. With the press of a button, you'll receive juicy info on a target in dark space database, including their worst fears, a numerical measure on how much of a threat they are and how likely they are to date you. Next time a hero like the Postman, neither sleet nor snow nor costume malfeasance, shall stop me in my quest and unexpectedly interfere with your schemes, you'll be immediately able to scan him and call in a crate of the dog breed he fears the most.
That's really funny.
You'll definitely get started on that first thing tomorrow morning. It isn't like you'd get your gadget soon anyways. The shipping time on these things is murder. Right now, you've got a ton of paperwork to get through that piled up during your vacation. It's funny how most people assume that the life of a supervillain is all fun and games. Sure, you get to blow stuff up, giving threatening speeches, maybe even getting away with cutting lines at the grocery store. But you're not worried about your mundane tasks to complete as well. Your cross-country trip has given you a weakness for diners. The cracked leather booths, the clink of silverware, the hearty smiles you can imagine whipped off guileless faces, so you decide to work at the local sit-down place instead of your office back at the lair. It's also scary movie night at the base, and concentrating while your goons scream like infants is pretty much impossible.
I would love to just be a fly on the wall in that base.
It'd be great. The diner you enter doesn't have the same cozy atmosphere as the one back west, but at least it's quiet. Sitting at one of the booths, you open up your laptop and hope people see you as just another loser sipping coffee and working on the amazing revolutionary screenplay that you're always telling people about at parties. You take care of the human resources paperwork for injured opinions first, cringing at each incident you're forced to list. Did one of your minions really walk into traffic while belting out nursery rhymes? Another thought it would be a good idea to test the latest electrical system with a fork? And how did that one guy suffer third-degree burns while making popcorn? Seriously consider making up alternative explanations for the injuries, hiring a team to take care of such paperwork as cross your mind. But then you'd be running the risk of everyone finding out just how inept your minions can be. The last thing you need is for these absurd incidents to go viral.
I love the thought of making popcorn and you burst into flames.
Like, how?
What did you do?
Bag in microwave.
Start.
Next up, it's time to send out emails to your suppliers and contractors that helped keep your base stocked clean and ready for villainy. You arranged for someone to reapply hemotanks venom to your spike traps, and then order another million gallons of lava. Lava is the paprika of costume villainy. You can never have enough. Wow, it's a buy one get one free deal for giant lasers. You order 6 to make an even dozen. And now you think about it, your favorite torture chambers, long overdue for a visit from the pain-inflicting profession. You contact someone so either I update the psychological torture room with new propaganda messages, give my giant shark tank a good scrub down, provide routine maintenance to my human blender, expand the brainwashing facility so you can indoctrinate goons quicker.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I mean, I either gotta keep the shark tank clean, because you gotta keep the shark tank clean.
That's your pet, yeah.
That is my pet. Or it's the brainwashing facilities. I think I'm gonna go for, we gotta take some chores down, right? Gotta keep the shark tank clean.
You gotta be a responsible pet owner.
Giant sharks tend to produce giant you-know-what, unfortunately. Hopefully, this next guy can clean the tank without losing a limb, especially since their contracts clearly state that you have to pay additional fees for any lost body parts during the process. You're pretty sure the last guy let Chompers bite his leg off on purpose, just to make a few extra bucks. Pounding away on your keyboard, you're suddenly distracted by a short, old man barking loudly about his eggs not being cooked just right. What's worse, he's wearing a cheap suit and a fedora. Oh, God. Then one of the biggest guys you've ever seen, wearing a grease-spattered apron and a blank expression, emerging from the back kitchen and agrees to take the plate away. What's this guy doing as a short-order cook, not a pro wrestler or bodyguard? Eventually, the big guy comes out and delivers another plate of food, which the same customer takes one bite before spitting out. Apparently now the food is overcooked. And once again, the larger man is forced to take the plate and try again. The other guy is clearly enjoying bossing around the bulking brute. We have to wonder why Giganto doesn't break the geezer in two and crack him like an egg. He keeps sending him back. The big guy, we're talking at least 7 feet here, and all of it muscle. Versus again to
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. To bring you your plate. Actually, it looks pretty terrible up close. The pancakes are super dry. The eggs have a piece of shell in them. Your bacon looks like it was cooked with one of the giant lasers you just purchased. Here's the name Slog in his name tag as you look up his face. It flashed you a surprisingly goofy smile. Is this for me, or should I feed it to my dog? Why haven't you ripped that guy's tongue out yet? You're doing alright, kid.
Oh, that's what's just so encouraging.
So encouraging, but why haven't you ripped that guy's tongue out yet? Like, come on. Slog shrugs before going back in the kitchen. You must not be entirely right in the head, you think. You're hungry enough, though, and you'll probably enjoy this meal, terrible or not. It's not like the goons back home are any better at cooking. Soon you hear a rude little man, the other booth, screeching away once again about the poor excuse for a meal and it just has been served. If you wanted to hear bickering during meals, you'd go to your grandma's house and listen to her heated argument with a toaster. I didn't send her a letter. Long story short, she thinks it's possible, possessed by your grandpa's vengeful spirit returned from the afterlife to burn her toast every morning. Blur humor over here. It's time to get this old man to shut her yapper and let you eat in peace. I reject my food to see if Slog loses cool. I quietly poison the man's food with toxin-carrying nanites, threatening the annoying man to get him to shut up and eat.
One of these is way more extreme than the other two.
I don't want Slog to be pissed at me, and I'm not going to kill the old man, but I am going to threaten him. Also because I want it to, like, lead somewhere.
Yeah.
You approach the older guy's booth and look him straight in the eyes. Listen, old man, I've got work to do, and I'm tired of hearing you whine. Be quiet, or I'll crack your head open like one of the eggs the kind cook prepared for you. Capiche? His eyebrows raised almost enough to knock the fedora off his head. Return to your booth and give him a stink eye one last time for effect, which caused him to laugh before quietly returning to his meal. That's when you realize you'd had a piece of food in your chin the entire time. Whether he found you threatening or just ridiculous, at least he shut up. Now free of elderly nuisance, you gobble down the flavorless meal before getting back to work. Let's see, you definitely should shoot an email to Grease Monkey. When he lacks in skill at nefarious scheming, he makes up for it with unrivaled knack for fixing havoc-wreaking vehicles. Your transport could definitely use a good tune-up. Just as you're ready to move on to another task, a putrid stench hits your nostril. It's comparable to getting smacked in the face by a vomit-filled water balloon. You look around to see a homeless-looking man make his way through the diner and sit down at a nearby booth. His hair is clumped and greasy, and his torn unitard is stained with blood and burn marks. He looks like some kind of washed-up wannabe superhero with a secret weakness to soap and clean water. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you're pretty sure you've seen it before. You try to get back to work, but you can't get him out of your mind, or nose for that matter. Maybe try talking to him or something. You'll recall where you've seen this guy. Or you can just find a way to make him leave before you hurl over the laptop. So I had to buy him a meal, preferably to go. Ask him to leave, make fun of his uniform. Yeah, I'll try buying him a meal. Let's see where that leads. Thanks, but I'm not here to eat, he responds, after you offer to buy him a plate. So what is he here for, then? To ruin this diner by making other customers lose their appetite? Back at your booth, you watch him sit quietly as he stares out the windows overlooking the busy street out front. Hearing his strong, empathetic voice makes something click in your brain. It's hard to believe, but you're pretty sure it's filthy man, none other than the Star. What's the world's greatest superhero? I remember watching him fly around on the news, bashing your favorite supervillains in the face and spoiling their awesome schemes. You're still just a kid when the news broke that he had met his demise at the hand of Dr. Arachnus, so he's not dead. Giving his life to foil a madman's plot to steal the world's water. All of it? Apparently he survived, and he's still wearing that torch and bloodstained suit after all these years. It's not like dry cleaners are all that expensive in the city, even if you do balk at doing superheroes' business. The star definitely must have lost a few marbles after getting replaced by another superhero, so city's favorite protector. People can be so cruel. You open up the Dark Space database on your laptop and search for the star's file. Sure enough, dead, in big red letters, is written across his profile picture. The comment section flooded with celebratory remarks about a supposed passing left by villains that no doubt had their lights punched out by him on more than one occasion. The few comments waxing nostalgic for the star's more gentle or genteel brand of superheroes and are quickly shut down. Apparently no one knows he survived his encounter with Dr. Arachnus, although to be fair, few people ever do. You're scrolling down his page when your laptop starts acting weird. First the cursor starts bouncing, and then your screen goes completely black. A few seconds later, a strange chat box pops up on the screen. Whoever's doing this, they seem to want to converse with you. Greetings, Emperor Nefarious. I've been looking for... Also, again, hacked! Come on!
Yeah, I was about to say.
I've been looking forward to speaking with you. I apologize for interrupting your work. How is your dinner going, by the way?
Can we just say, by the way, the plan to steal all the world's water, what does that even mean?
Did you just take it to space? Where's it go?
You just shoot water into space.
Yeah, great. Everyone's dead. Great plan.
I mean, it's Arachnus. He might want that.
It's really lame just to try and kill everyone. You can do that super easy. Just take over the world's nukes and launch them. You can't tell if they're being serious or not. Either way, they're overly friendly. Demeanor makes you a bit uneasy. You may as well type in a response. It was going great until you started messing with my computer. Terrible! I can't get any work done at a stupid diner. The better question is, who the heck are you? What do you want? Oh yeah, first one. Why do people keep messing with my fucking computer? Just email me.
It happens frequently for some reason. You have zero cybersecurity.
Lol. You can only hope a 14-year-old didn't find his way to hack your 80,000 ultra-secure laptop. It's not. I should get a refund. I'm just glad to finally have a chat with the great Emperor Nefarious. After all, your schemes have been attracting plenty of attention on Dark Space lately. To be honest, I never thought someone of your caliber would need the approval of has-beens to feel like a true villain. Sad, really. What do you mean has-beens?
Jesus.
Did this person just mock you? If you wanted your feelings heard online, you would have offered an opinion on social media and waited for the abuse to roll in. But hey, maybe it's a good sign. You're moving up in the village pyramid scheme so fast that cowards have a way to mess with you over the safety of the internet. Hey, those washed up villains are my friends. What's sad? You can't insult me to my face. Is this going to take long? I got work to do. You can't fucking insult me to my face. Everyone just keeps hacking my computer.
Everyone keeps having your computer insulting you.
Emperor Nefarious, just consider yourself lucky that a mutual partnership between us is something I'm considering. If not, I've already sent a legion of drones to electroshock you to death. Great, they've moved on to threats. This conversation's escalating quickly. You're not really convinced that someone hiding behind the computer screen could pose much of a threat to you. So you found a way to get rid of a nuisance so you can get back to work. Attempt to counter-hack and install a virus in their system. Track the hacker's location and threaten them. Keep chatting to see what they want. I mean, I am interested. You've gone through a lot of trouble to get my attention. You must have a crush on me, is that it? You're typing, hoping they'll spill some vital information or vital info via simple bantering. Yeah and no, they reply. I'm impressed by your passion for villainy, but I'm not interested in developing a romantic relationship with you, if that's what you mean. You were just kidding, but it seems they thought you were serious. Fucking no humor. Did you find it a little funny? Well, why don't we meet in person and see if I can spark an interest in you? You respond with a grin on your face. If only you were this smooth in person. I would have loved to, that is, before I became Hackmaster.
Hacker man!
It's like, what is it? Fucking Dr. Murder? Hackmaster?
Professor Murder.
Professor Murder, Hackmaster.
Which one's
Please,
worse?
give me the, Death Turtle. So much better.
What's worse? What's the worst name you've seen so far?
Still Professor Murder. That's so on the nose. Like, come on.
Professor Murder.
At least this one sounds like Taskmaster, which is also much better.
It's almost like naming yourself Mr. Bad.
Right? I know I'm Emperor Nefarious, but Hackmaster?
Oh
Strangely, your
man.
computer returns back to its normal unhacked self. Hackmaster? You say out loud? You've heard that name before, but where? Considering how unoriginal it is, you're not too surprised you've forgotten about it. If an explosives-loving villain called himself the Blower-Upper or the Bomb, you'd probably avoid wasting memory space in your brain on them. Kaboom. Now that would have been a cool name. You make a mental note to consider Kaboom as a late career reinvention. It's better than, Blower-Upper. I still think Incredibles Bombs Away is actually a fantastic one.
No, it's Bon Voyage.
Bon Voyage, that's also fantastic.
Bon Voyage.
Great name. You search for Hackmaster on Darkspace and read all about Danny Clendon, once the most powerful woman in Silicon Valley. Besides being a technical genius, she was also stunningly beautiful, at least before a rival attempting to take her CEO position at Harvest Tech decided to blow her up. The car bomb left Clendon disfigured, angry, and possibly insane, and she now devotes herself to villainy. She racked up quite a body count, all while using only machines and computers to do her work. Very impressive. You tab out on Darkspace and back to your email account, unable to accept how little work you've gotten done since you started. Instead of getting some peace and quiet, you've had to deal with nattering old dude, a cook who looks more comfortable in the wrestling ring than the kitchen, a smelly ex-hero stinking to place, and a hacker messing with the computer. This is why villains prefer staying in their lairs all day. At least things can't get any worse. They can.
I think it's about to get worse.
Suddenly, a figure crashes through the diner door with a whooping war cry. She holds an advanced-looking flamethrower in her hand. She scans the room. You sigh. You really weren't looking to deal with a visit from the Drake. That's actually a cool name.
The Drake.
The Vigilante isn't well known among the public just yet, but has been building up a distressing amount of Darkspace chatter from various badly singed villains. You have a sinking suspicion she picked the dragon theme for a gimmick just to get an excuse to burn people. Okay, so she's more like a pyromaniac than a vigilante. Definitely not the never kill kind of vigilante, which means you'll likely get toasted extra crispy if you're not careful. And wouldn't you know it, you're apparently just the person she's looking for. She casually walks up to your booth and points her gun at you. You're cuter in person than on your Darkspace photo, she says before giving you a wink. Alright, Harley Quinn. Okay, not the opening, okay, not the opening gambit you expected, but you can banter flirt with the best of them, maybe. You're not too bad looking yourself, you respond. You run into one or two decent-looking wannabe heroes in your time as a villain, but this woman is definitely up there on the list. Apparently she's hot. Crazy as hell, obsessed with fire, but definitely cute. Sexual attraction aside, though, you probably should figure out how to get out of this mess without getting all your hair singed off. Maybe you can talk your way out of this one, or at least get her to drop her guard. There's room for two in this booth, you know? You don't know who you're dealing with, do you? How much does a toy like that cost? Looks fun. Offer her eggshell-filled meal, maybe.
Yeah, that'll work.
She smiles before pressing the end of the flamethrower against her chest. Ashamed that such an infamous villain would be so easy to kill. Here I was expecting an exciting fight. Don't worry, it's only hurt a little bit, she says. Fortunately, she didn't notice you pressed the emergency backup button on your wristwatch, programmed to get you out of pickles like this. Like, say, getting murder-flirted with a costume pyromaniac. Now, all you've got to do is wait for a dozen armed men to arrive and make her beg for mercy. A special frequency to disable her precious toy and make her panic. Electromagnetic pulse to disable all nearby lights, allowing me to escape the dark. All three. Let's find out if the Drake can handle that.
Oh my god. You have two.
I mean, I don't know if I want to use it on her.
I think it's funny that she said it only hurt a little. Isn't burning alive one of the most painful ways to die?
Very much. I'm deciding between, finally calling in the Goon Squad.
I mean, it'd be, they do have pictures of you in their wallets.
Yeah, or electromagnetic pulses disable all nearby lights, allowing me to escape in the dark. No, that's not. I don't want to do that.
He's just Batman.
Also, disabling her toy would be really funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. Let's see how that goes. A look of confusion appears on her face as the weapon fails to torch you alive. Cute trick, she voices over before swinging the weapon at your head. You manage to dodge the blow and tackle her like an American football player. But in the struggle, she ends up on top of you. But Shorty got you like a fish with one of her knives. You smash a nearby plate on her head and get back up. Good news is that the plate was solid enough to get her off you. Bad news is that your watch got busted during the tussle. meaning she can use her flamethrower again. She gives off an amusing laugh, the flamethrower held firmly in her hands. I know you're missing most of your gear, but you're still putting up quite a fight. I love it when a villain bites back, she admits with a grin. Sadly, it's time to end this once and for all.
You just gave her Harley Quinn's voice for a second.
No, I tried to. That's what I'm trying to. She's very much Harley Quinn, just,
Yeah.
super insane. Never thought it would end this way, at least not inside a stinky little diner. You always pictured getting zapped to death by Vanguard's super laser after you took over the world, or maybe by an atomic bomb launched by a super space station. Just then, you look over the Drake's shoulder and notice only 2 people still left in the diner. One of them is Slog, a comically large brute working the griddle. He could probably knock the Drake slide out in one punch. Near him stands the Star, watching the battle with a weird, creepy hunger on his blood-stained face. I'm so terrified if I ask him to help, he's literally going to eat her.
He's gonna rip her in half.
A security camera on the corners turns to point directly at you, and you realize the Hackers Master is still watching what's happening. 2 men are staring right at you, bodies tense, sloggishly pissed that this crazy superhero is torching their place. The Star, you have no idea what he wants, but his hands are twitching slightly. Great for you.
I kind of want him, Kai. I kind of want him.
I don't want him. He's like a fucking rabid fucking wolf. Looking down, you glance at your laptop and notice that the text box is back, and a blinking message screen. Just nod if you want some help. I don't need her help. Well, this is it. You either ask one of these 3 weirds help, or you leave the diner in an urn. Why not all 3? Because you're desperate, but not so desperate as to deal with the henchperson's union for 3 separate hiring claims in a single day. None of them fit the smoking hot sidekick that can cook. Job position: you are planning to advertise on Darkspace, but given that you suddenly find yourself a beggar, there's no time to choose. Which do you pick? I'm gonna go with the Slog.
This is big man. Oh man, the deranged ex-hero just has me though. I'm like,
yeah, I'm still trying to keep up the don't kill. He's going to fucking eat her. He's going to paint the room literally red.
oh, it'd be fucking hilarious.
I assume this means I'm also locked out of the other 2, who depending on who I choose.
I imagine this is your sidekick you were talking about earlier.
This is the terrifying one, and if I'm going off it again, maybe he doesn't kill.
Yeah, it's possible.
Slog's nice though.
Slog's just a bigger version of the minions you already have.
Thinking.
He can cook, kind of, sort of, not really.
Huh?
I said he can cook, kind of, sort of, not really.
He can't cook. No. Let's not lie. He's nice, but he's not going to be a chef. Let's go with the Slog. I like Slog. Slog's nice. You lock eyes with the monstrous brute as the Drake approaches. Flamethrower primed. You feel a hot flame from a weapon coming towards you, but only briefly since she gets held up in the air by Slog. The flamethrower continues releasing a stream of fire at the roof of the diner, covering in flames before Slog finally tosses the Drake across the room like a rag doll. Before she can stumble to her feet, Big Man runs up and gives the Dragon Vigilante an uppercut that knocks her out cold. If this were an official boxing match, you'd be raising Slog's hand up like a champ. I probably should still do that. Ding ding! Instead, you're patting down the small flames in your chest from the close encounter with the Drake's weapon. With the fire spreading quickly, you run out of the diner with Slog and watch along with several onlookers the building burns down. Did the Star get out? Looks like you have a job. Lucky for you. I'm hiring, you tell Slog, who nods with a warm smile.
Did the Drake get out? Is the Drake dead?
Whatever. Hey, I don't care. She was probably gonna die no matter what. I didn't kill her. You signal for Slog to follow you as the bigger crowd gathers and fire trucks arrive. Rounding the corner, you see the Star standing. He's alive. Soot now blackened his already filthy uniform. He doesn't say anything. He just stares. Madness in his eyes before fading back in the crowd. You suppress a shudder. Moments later, a van flies down the street at full speed towards you. Just before it flattens you into Village Crepe, Slog pulls you aside. Is it just you, or is Mercy getting crazier by the minute? Watching the van screech away, you notice a small HM Hackmaster logo painted on its back. Hackmaster. Either she wanted to turn you into roadkill, or she's simply a terrible driver. Then again, she's from California.
Damn. Shots fired.
They both seem kind of peeved that you didn't ask for their help. I think the fucking Star is just always peeved.
He's always on the edge. He's on the brink, man.
Heck, if you knew working for you was such a sought-after gig, you'd have opened your tryouts or something. Maybe even a show with a catchy title to the air on the Villains Broadcasting Company channel. Here's hoping they're not ticked enough to get in your way in the future. They both are.
The VBC?
Yeah. Like a vigilante cherry on his psychotic villain Sunday, a brief blast of flame shoots into the air from atop the building not far away. The barely visible figure on the roof blows you a kiss before disappearing. Well, I mean, they all lived. It appears you weren't the only one escaped the diner's fire. Drake probably won't hesitate to fry you next time you meet. Of course, she'll have to get past your new minion first.
Fuck.
Here we are. Theatrics, kind of still there. My ingenuity went up. These two, I think, are the same.
Mm-hmm.